80% of people who lose weight gain every single pound of it back. And after guiding tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people through fat loss challenges, I can tell you almost none of them failed from lack of effort. They failed because they were only ever taught one way of eating. Your body actually needs three. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 stages of fat loss and the exact foods to eat in each one, how to know which stage you're in right now, and then when to move from one stage to the next so that you never stall and you never bounce back. And as a bonus at the end, I will show you how to eat pizza and dessert, even enjoy a drink or a cocktail again without putting the weight back on. So to start, I'm going to show you how to stop the foods that keep your body locked in fat storage mode, because until they're gone, nothing else in this video is going to work. Now, maybe you're brand new to this, coming off years of drive-thrus and soda and basically eating whatever you want, or maybe you've been eating healthy for years, the low-fat options, the heart-healthy cereals, the diet drinks, and the weight still won't budge. Either way, start at level 1. Because in both cases, you're struggling for the exact same reasons. The food you're eating are sending signals that causes the body to store fat. You might even be eating fewer calories than you burn, and then it still won't matter because of the quality of the food. Because your body doesn't count calories, it reads signals. Every time you eat, the food tells your body what to do next, burn fat or store it. And if the wrong foods are on your plate, they keep telling your body to store even if you're in a caloric deficit. The fat will not go away until you know what those signals are, and then you shut them off. So let's talk about the 2 biggest ones. The first is a hormone called insulin. Insulin is your storage hormone. When a food spikes insulin, your body goes into storage mode, and then it stays there until insulin comes back down. The second signal goes to your liver, the organ that actually controls burning fat. Every chemical in your food sends your liver the same message. Stop what you're doing and clean up that chemical first. Cleanup always comes before fat burning. That's just how your liver is built. So when your food is full of chemicals, your liver keeps getting the signals to clean up instead of burning fat. Now, the main foods that spike your insulin, bury your liver, or do both at once fall into 4 categories. I call them CRAP. C-R-A-P. Each letter stands for one of the 4. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, or you've read my newest book, Livingood Approved, I'll put a link for it below, you've probably heard me break down the CRAP analogy acronym before. In which case, feel free to jump ahead up to level 2. That's where you're going to really get the new side of things, the next step side of things. It's always good for a review, though. But if this is your first time, okay, don't skip this. The first letter of the CRAP acronym, the C, stands for refined carbohydrates and sugars. Nothing in the store spikes insulin harder or faster. These foods have had their fiber stripped away. And fiber is the brake for the runaway vehicle. Without it, the sugar floods your bloodstream in minutes. Insulin surges, and then your body flips straight into storage mode. I'm talking about things like white bread, bagels, muffins, pastries, regular pasta, white rice, crackers, pretzels, chips, cereals, granola bars, cookies, candy. Those are all sabotaging your fat loss. Those are a little more obvious, but the sneakiest ones oftentimes are in what we're drinking. Soda, sweet tea, energy drinks, fruit juice, and sweetened coffee drinks. They're pure sugar with no breaks at all. Instead, start to swap those drinks for water, sparkling water, unsweetened tea, coffee without all the syrup and additives. And for the carbs, choose versions that still have the breaks, still have the fiber. Sprouted whole grain bread instead of white, brown rice instead of white, steel cut oats instead of sugary cereal, whole grain or bean-based pasta instead of regular. Now we'll take this even further at the next level, but let's keep working our way through CRAP. The R is rancid seed oils, and these hit both signals at one time. These oils are chemically extracted at high heat, so they're already damaged before they even reach your plate. And then once you eat them, they get built in to the walls of your cells, and they can take years to fully leave your body. Meanwhile, your liver treats them like a mess and has to clean them up. Now, here's what makes them such a problem. They're in almost every packaged food in the store. You'll want to be on the lookout for these: the canola oil, soybean, cottonseed, safflower, corn, anything labeled vegetable oil. And you usually find them in the ingredients of things like chips and crackers and cookies and granola, protein bars, bottled dressings, mayonnaise, all types of sauces, condiments, frozen meals, fast food meals, even roasted nuts. The same goes for nearly everything fried at a restaurant, most often fried in one of these rancid oils. So instead, cook at home with olive, avocado, coconut, butter, or ghee. Pretty much can just stick with those 5. These fats come from real foods, and they arrive on your plate undamaged. Your body can actually build healthy cells with them, and your liver has nothing to clean up. The next letter in the CRAP acronym is A for artificial ingredients. Every fake sweetener, dye, preservative, and flavoring is a chemical that your body can't use, so it lands on your liver to clean up. And they fill diet sodas and flavored waters and sugar-free desserts, zero sugar foods, snack bars, protein powders with ingredient lists that are a mile long. Basically anything sweetened with sucralose, aspartame, saccharin. So if you want something sweet, choose it sweetened with stevia or monk fruit instead. They give you the sweetness without giving your liver another complete mess. Finally, the P in our acronym of CRAP is processed proteins. You are what your food ate. And the hormones and the antibiotics that are put into factory farmed animals get passed along up the food chain to you. And then it's your liver's job to clean them up. That includes deli meats, hot dogs, cheap bacon, packaged sausage, breaded nuggets and tenders, conventional factory farmed meat in general, like farm raised fish, or just conventional beef and dairy. So instead, let's upgrade to grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken and eggs, organic turkey, wild-caught fish, organic dairy. These animals were raised the way that they're supposed to be, without hormones, without antibiotics that are building up in their meat. So the protein reaches you clean, and then your liver stays free to do the job you actually want it doing, which is burning fat. Now, spotting all of this at the store comes down to one habit. Ignore the front of the package. That's because the front of the package is marketing. It says natural, heart healthy, zero sugar, whatever it takes to end up in your cart. So instead, you want to flip it over and read the ingredient list, because the ingredients can't lie. And the longer that list gets, the worse the food usually is. Now, unfortunately, there are over 11,000 different food ingredients out there. And even if you know the major ones to avoid, nobody can keep track of all of them. So I built a free app that does it for you. It leverages AI and it leverages barcode databases so that you could scan a barcode and check a product, or you could literally have the scanner read your ingredient list of whatever food you have, whether it's in a database or not. And then it instantly flags the seed oils, the added sugars, and the artificial ingredients hiding inside. It's free on iOS and Android, and the link is in the description below. Take it on your next grocery run and let it do the thinking for you. All right, let's go level 2. It's the next part of the plan where the real weight starts to come off, because now instead of just protecting your metabolism, you're going to repair it. Picture yourself a few weeks into level 1, the crap is gone, every label in your kitchen is clean and it's working, and the fat is starting to come off, it's starting to move a little bit. But then somewhere along the way, the scale slows to a crawl. Maybe it stops completely, even though you're eating cleaner, higher quality foods than maybe you have in years. And this happens to a lot of people. It doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It means the years of signals telling your body to store fat took a big toll on your body. And that damage doesn't disappear just because the junk food did. After years of insulin spiking meal after meal, the cells stop listening to the insulin. So your body compensates the only way that it can. It pumps out more insulin to get the same job done. That's called insulin resistance. And it means that your storage signal now runs louder than it should all day, every day. And then similarly, your liver took the same beating, and years of cleanup duty have left it sluggish. Oftentimes fat packed inside the organ itself. It is the fastest growing condition in the world, fatty liver disease. And it's virtually silent. You don't even know it's there. In a body like that, even real natural sugars hit way too hard. In a healthy body, food Foods like steel-cut oats or a banana or brown rice or honey, perfectly fine. But in a damaged one, where there's insulin resistance, where there's fatty liver disease smoldering, those foods spike your oversensitive insulin signal, and then they keep you stuck in storage mode. So this level asks something different of you. In level 1, you cut the fake foods, the ones that trigger fat storage. In anyone, healthy or not, they stay gone forever. But in level 2, you're also going to pause some real healthy foods temporarily because your body can't handle them until it heals. So pull them out, and your insulin finally stays low long enough for your cells to start listening again and your liver to catch its breath, start burning more fat. So I call this level challenge eating. This is the challenge eating plan. You run it for a set window, at least 28 days. 90 days is the sweet spot after leading tens of thousands of people through this. And every food I'm about to pull comes back later as a lifestyle, I promise, okay? You have to be a little bit extreme here, because if it doesn't challenge you, then it doesn't change you. So here's what goes on pause. First off, grains, including the healthy ones that you may have switched to in level 1, but brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal, whole grains, sprouted breads. The fiber in these slows down the sugar, but right now your cells are so resistant that even slow sugar still spikes the signal. Second, high sugar fruits, bananas, mangoes, grapes, oranges, pineapple, watermelon, dried fruit. The sugar in these fruit is mostly fructose, and fructose can only be processed by one organ, your liver. You're trying to give your liver a break, but every banana forces it to keep processing. So we have to cut those. And third are the natural sweeteners. Honey, maple syrup, even coconut sugar. Yes, they're real food, but they do still significantly spike insulin anyway. Your body can't tell the difference between sugar from a bee and sugar from a factory when it's struggling with this level of resistance. Fourth, starchy vegetables. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams. These vegetables are almost pure starch, which converts straight to sugar as soon as you eat it, and then it adds to that insulin resistance that we're trying to undo. Number 5, alcohol. The moment it hits your bloodstream, your liver has to stop everything to clear it out because your body treats it as a poison. One glass of wine in the evening can cost you hours of fat burning. Not to mention, it's a strain that your healing liver will struggle to handle. Now, before we build your plate, one food group needs its own rules. I'm talking about dairy. You can keep dairy during the challenge if you follow 2 conditions. The first is quality. We want it to be hormone-free and antibiotic-free. So look for organic, grass-fed, full fat. Remember, you are what your food ate, and conventional dairy passes everything from the cow straight to the liver. I highlight this dairy because a lot of people will throw in lots of protein powders, throw in lots of dairies and cheeses and alternatives because they're low in sugars, but they're way more conventionally processed and sometimes can be a little elevated in lactose in sugar. So we want to be careful, we want them to be quality, and then we can enjoy them. The second part of enjoying here is moderation. Dairy stays a side character until your goals are met. So with those rules, clean cheese, sour cream, heavy cream, they're all fine, including full fat cream in your coffee. Kefir, that gets a gold star because it's fermented. It's loaded with probiotics. It helps protect your gut while your body heals. But the one to watch out for is yogurt. Yogurt carries enough natural sugar to stall your progress. So we need to save it for level 3. You're gonna have any kind of yogurt. It's gotta be Greek. It's gotta be really low sugar, but I'm very careful during this stage of putting too much yogurt in. Cottage cheese, sour cream, cheese, those are okay. Use those in moderation. And, I'd probably just skip glasses of milk altogether. If you need milk, maybe in a recipe, or an organic milk would be good, or you could try a coconut or an almond or a cashew, just as long as those labels show no added sugar and no seed oils. You gotta be very careful of this, especially with something like oat milk, bad alternative. Now, with all of those things on pause or in moderation when it comes to dairy, here's what your plate actually looks like. Every meal gets built from healthy fat, clean protein, and then vegetables, fiber. So start with fat. You already made the switch in level 1. Olive oil, avocado, coconut oil, butter, ghee. So keep cooking and making recipes with those and pretty much those only. And now add fats that you can eat straight up to consume healthy fats and stimulate fat burning. Avocados, nuts, almonds, walnuts, pecans, seeds. These are very valuable for fiber content. Chia, flax, pumpkin. You can go clean nut butters as long as there's no added sugars or oils. Every cell in your body is wrapped in a layer of fat. So eating healthy fats hands your cells the raw materials to repair themselves. And unlike carbs, fat barely moves insulin. You stay full for hours while the signal stays really quiet. Next is protein. Stick with the clean sources that you upgraded to in level 1. This is the biggest missing piece that I see in so many like diet and weight loss approaches out there. It's just eat and gobble down protein at all costs. It has to be quality, grass-fed, pasture-raised chicken and eggs, organic turkeys, wild-caught fishes. This applies to your powders and your dairy products as well. Now, if you want plant-based options, then lentils, chickpeas, beans, that's a huge focus. Those work as well. Protein protects your muscle while the fat comes off. And muscle is what keeps your metabolism running hot. It matters even more after age 50 because your body sheds more muscle every year as you age. So for the right amount, aim for at least 0.5 gram of protein per pound of your target body weight every day. And while you're actively losing fat, you can move and shift that up to a full gram if you'd like. So if your goal weight is 150 pounds, aim for a minimum of 75 grams of protein per day. And then you could work your way up to a full 150 grams of protein per day. It's a lot. Spread it across your meals so every plate has a real portion. Then fill the rest of the plate with healthy fiber that comes from vegetables. Broccoli, spinach, kale, cauliflower, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, bell peppers, zucchinis, cabbage, cucumbers. The fiber in all of these slows the carbs that trickle into your body, helps to handle them even easier. They also feed your liver the nutrients that it uses to detox, the exact support that it needs while it heals. Now for fruits, stick to the low sugar options. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, those are all good. Granny Smith apples, lemons, limes, kiwi. They will give you the vitamins and the antioxidants without the fructose load and the high sugar spikes. And if your sweet tooth shows up, then you could lean on stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those 3 are your friends as far as adding some sweetness to something. They'll give you sweetness with much less insulin response. Now, there's one more thing at this level. You want to stick to 3 solid meals a day, ideally no snacking in between. It's because every snack, even a challenge-approved food, nudges insulin up. Every stretch in between meals is time for that signal to fall and stored fat to be released. Then once 3 meals feels easy, consider shrinking that window even further. The simplest version is skipping breakfast. Ease into it by cutting breakfast in half, maybe just a smoothie or maybe just a coffee with healthy fats or proffee with protein in your coffee, and then work up to eating your meals inside a 6 to 8 hour window, say noon to 6. But if you want the most powerful version to optimize fat loss, flip it and skip dinner instead. So maybe eat between 8 and 2. I call this night fasting. And then you're done for the day. It works better because your body handles sugar best in the morning and then worse at night. So that same meal at 8 o'clock spikes your insulin harder and it keeps it elevated longer than a meal at 8 a.m. And I realize dinner is social. So if night fasting isn't realistic, you skipping breakfast still works very well, or maybe you alternate on different days of the week. Either way, you're giving your body a long, clean stretch with insulin on the floor, and your stored fat becomes the fuel. So that fasting regimen we call the advanced challenge eating plan. Now, if you follow all of this, the first few weeks usually moves pretty quickly, but prepare yourself because somewhere around month 2 or month 3, the scale slows down and sometimes it stops altogether. And that's because your metabolism has noticed that you're eating less and it's adapted to it. It's learning to run on less fuel. It's called metabolic adaptation. And at the exact moment that most people give up and they quit, but you're not going to quit because I'm going to give you a trick that turns this stall into an advantage. Simply spend 2 weeks eating from the lifestyle plan, the expanded menu that I'll break down in level 3, and then come back to the challenge eating plan. That pause keeps your metabolism from fully adapting, which studies show can result in a 47% increase in fat loss than people who just grind straight through it. So you actually eat more and you get better results. So let's take a look at level 3 so you understand what that looks like, and this is going to help set you up for long-term results. The last level is the one that almost no one teaches, and it's the reason that 80% of people who lose weight end up right back where they started gaining it all back. Picture the day that you hit your goal. The scale shows the number that you've been chasing. Your blood work looks great. That's the finish line that I told you to watch for in level 2, and it has happened to tens of thousands of people under my watch. It's so rewarding, and it is exactly where most people make the biggest mistake of their entire journey. They think they're done. The challenge rules relax. The old habits drift back one by one, and within a year, the weight has crept right back on. I always say it is often easier to get the weight off and hit the goal than it is to keep it. So we've got to make this shift into the lifestyle mentality, and this is where what I teach and what I've done over the last decade plus has really made a huge difference, and is different than anything else out there. But here's what happens. Your fat cells actually remember being big. And for years after you shrink them, they're pulling to get back to the size that they were. Give them the old food, they will take that invitation. At the same time, staying on the challenge eating plan forever isn't the answer either. Your body is healed now, and your cells are listening to insulin again, and your liver is caught back up. Permanently restricting your food, once your body is healed, doesn't burn more fat. It just makes you more miserable until the day you snap and abandon the whole thing altogether. So level 3 is one job. Give you your food back without giving your fat cells what they're looking for. This is lifestyle eating, and it's how you'll eat for the rest of your life if you want to keep the fat off. Now, the whole level runs on one rule, 80-20. About 80% of your meals stay built the challenge way. Fat, clean protein, vegetables on your plate that you've already mastered. But the other 20% opens up to everything I'm about to add back. And the crap from level 1 stays out for good. I'm not going back to rancid seed oils that stay in my body for years, or artificial sweeteners that damage my brain. That crap stays out. But now for the fun part, here's what returns to the menu. First off, grains. Brown rice, wild rice, quinoa, steel-cut oats, Ezekiel, sprouted grains. Your cells respond to insulin normally again, so the slow, fiber-rich sugar in these no longer spikes that signal the way that it did when you were healing, when you were insulin resistant. So adding back in grains, cooking and making meals with grains, that's the huge difference here. Second, all the fruit, including the high sugar ones that you paused in level 2. Bananas and oranges and mangoes and pineapples and grapes and watermelon and peaches and cherries and pears. And you can eat these again because your liver is finally able to process the fructose without falling behind. Now, I'll be honest, I don't eat them too often. And when I do, I eat them earlier in the day. And that way your body has all day to burn up the extra sugar and the extra energy instead of storing it overnight. Third, you can reintroduce the natural sweeteners. Raw honey, 100% organic maple syrup, and coconut sugar, all in moderation, of course. We're not dousing our whole grain pancakes with too much maple syrup. We want to be, reasonable about it, but you can enjoy these. They still will raise insulin, but at a healed body can now handle the responsible doses. They're not running wild like the artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrups are doing. They're spiking it, but in a natural way that your body can handle. Fourth, we can enjoy starchy vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, yam, all back on the plate. Fifth, you can eat more dairy. Greek yogurt comes back. General yogurt comes back as long as there's active cultures in it and we still have quality. And then along with clean milk and everything that you were already enjoying, you can expand dairy a bit. We don't want to overdo the sugars, but it really helps to make a difference in this stage to enjoy some different things. The same quality rules apply. Make sure they're free of hormones and antibiotics. Number 6 is the drinks. Coconut water, fresh juices, vegetable juices, fruit juices, naturally sweetened sodas. In moderation, okay, there's a lot of options now. Stevia sweetened ones, monk fruit sweetened ones. If you've got that craving and that desire, you can have those occasionally. And yes, even dry wines or organic alcohol, using that sparingly. You start to look at desserts, ideally made with a monk fruit or a stevia, but the grain for sure needs to be a full fiber, full grain, sprouted grain. There's a ton of recipes that Nurse Livingood makes this easy with in the new cookbook as well. Beyond the food list, lifestyle eating comes with superpowers. You can eat almost anything you love when you learn to make it healthy. So if you're craving pizza, make it at home. A clean crust, real cheese, quality toppings, Chinese takeout, a stir fry, an avocado oil dessert. Like I said, clean version of nearly anything that you once baked, but now you could use a better form of flour like almond or a bean-based one, and you're sweeten it with a honey or a maple syrup or a monk fruit. The food you love was never the problem, the ingredients were, and now you know how to fix them. For the meals you can't control, restaurants, parties, holidays, use these 2 tricks to protect yourself. The first is eating your carbs last. Eat your vegetables and your protein. Don't eat the French fries first. Don't eat the potatoes first. Save bread, rice, dessert, all at the end. Eating in that order can actually cut your blood sugar spike from those carbohydrates by as much as 44%. The second tool is apple cider vinegar. Before a high carb meal, take a tablespoon or 3 of my capsules of apple cider vinegar. Now, if you're using the liquid form, dilute it in a glass of water. It blunts the taste of it, right? Now, that's going to help the blood sugar spike before it even starts. So the meal does less damage on its way through. Also, try psyllium husk before a meal, 30 minutes before. That also is going to blunt overeating. Now that brings me to vacation meals. Birthdays, holidays, date nights, a real slice of cake from your favorite place. You get to be a human being and enjoy them without an ounce of guilt. There are just 2 rules. Rule 1, you can't be on vacation every day. That's not vacation. That's a lifestyle. Hitting the drive-through 3 times a week is a vacation. That's just your old lifestyle habits sneaking back in. Once a quarter, that's a vacation. Rule 2, you respond the next day. You mess up, you have a bad day, don't have 2 in a row. 1 clean challenge day or a short 1, 2, or 3 day fast for abstaining from food, just focusing on liquids. You do that in response to that vacation meal or vacation day or a couple days, and you come back and you hit and respond, it becomes a memory instead of a pattern in your cells and in your body. Respond and you'll never see it on the scale. And if you ever notice you're drifting further than a meal, the 20% has quietly become a 40% of the time you're eating off. The pants are becoming tighter again than they were. You already know the fix. Drop back into challenge eating mode or advanced challenge eating mode for a 28-day period of time. That's the length of our live challenges. We do them every single month, exactly like the rotation that you use to break the plateaus in level 2. The levels never stop working for you. They just become tools that you reach for. That's the difference between people who lose weight and people who keep it off. The ones who keep it off never finish. There's no finish line to a diet or a program. That's why I don't like those words. This turns into a lifestyle, and you can be a human and have mistakes or have periods of time when you're indulging, but we must respond. People who keep it off just live here at level 3 with a plan for every plate that's in front of them. If you need extra help with this, grab the free Livingood Approved book. It has a link to the Livingood Approved app, and it comes with the Livingood Approved cookbook to make this really, really simple to implement, and it'll give you access to join a challenge to get in and really do this with our coaches and myself. Now, you know exactly what to eat at every level of fat loss, but what you eat is only half the story. Every single day, you make about a dozen decisions that flip your body between fat storage and fat burning mode. And most of them have nothing to do with food. What time you wake up, what you do in the first hour of your morning, how you set up your evening. You get these right, and researchers found you can nearly double your fat loss without changing a single bite of what you eat. That's exactly what I walk you through in my other video, Easiest Daily Routine to Lose Fat 2x Faster. In it, I will show you the complete routine from morning to night, every habit in order, so that you can just copy me. You got the eating handled now. Now stack the routine on top of it, and the fat doesn't stand a chance. I will include a link to that video here. Click to watch it next. I'll see you there.